Hey, first graders, are you ready to read Caps for Sale? I love this book, and it's by Esper Slobodkin. Oh my goodness, look at that picture. Oh my. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had his own check cap, then a bunch of gray caps, a bunch of brown caps, and at the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his wares. And as he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." One morning he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, for he had no money for his lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his parents. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," he thought. And as he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head, then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there. So he went to sleep and he slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him. No caps. He looked to the left of him. No caps. He looked in back of him. No caps. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Then he looked up in the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey, and on every monkey was a gray, a brown, a blue, or a red cap. Oh my goodness gracious. The peddler looked at the monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally he spoke to them. "You monkey, you," he said, shaking a finger at them, "you give me back my black cap." But the monkeys only shook their heads at him and said, this made the peddler angry. So he shook both his hands at them and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands at him and said, now he felt quite angry, friends. He stamped his foot and he said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stomped their feet back at him and said, by this time the peddler was really very, very angry. He stamped both his feet and he shouted, "You monkeys, you must give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped both of their feet back at him and said, at last he became so angry that the peddler pulled off his own cap and he threw it on the ground and he began to walk away. What do you think is going to happen? Make a prediction. But then each monkey pulled off his cap. Were you right? And all the gray caps and all the brown caps and all the blue caps and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and he put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, and then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly he walked back to town calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." There he goes. Thank you so much. I love that story and I love saying, thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.